These are two leather suitcases by John Pound of Leadenhall Street, London. For those interested in leather luggage, John Pound is a name to be reckoned with. They're known for their quality of their work and also the quantity of their work. They had a number of premises throughout London and were quite prolific. The company was started by John's father, Henry Pound, in 1823 with his partner Tasker. They were known as Pound and Tasker, and they were based in Leadenhall Street. John was born in 1829, eventually became apprenticed to his father and then took over the business. And then later his sons John and Percy Pound also came into the business and eventually became partners and carried it on into the 20th century. So let's have a look at the earlier case first of all. And this is an expanding suitcase. Lovely design, really well made. Excellent fishtail handle to the top here. Straps to the top. So this section will expand as the straps are released, or you can tighten them up if you don't need to use them. It's got a lock flap here. The one short belt to secure the lock strap on the one side is missing, unfortunately. That's not unusual with leather luggage. They always seem to go, I don't know why. So if we have a look on the inside, it's lined in blue Manchester ticking. We've got a nice pocket to this board here, which separates the two sections. And here you can see the shadow mark of where John Pound's label would have been. So how do we know the case is by John Pound? Well, luckily he also stamped it here and it says John Pound, Leadenhall Street. To the top section, we've got another large pocket behind this board with leather straps, and we can see that this area will expand on this gusset which goes all the way around. So that's a good suitcase by John Pound and Company, made of leather hide. It's going to be late 19th century, maybe sort of 1880s, 1890s, somewhere around that date. Luckily, we've got a John Pound invoice, and that gives us quite a lot of information about the company. So I think maybe we should have a quick look at that. This invoice from 1897 gives us a good idea about the size that John Pound's business had grown to at the turn of 1900. To the middle, you've got a wonderful illustration showing one of his premises with trunks and suitcases stacked from floor to ceiling. And the little drawings around this central cartouche lists the different departments that he was operating within the building. And the invoice also lists a number of the items that he dealt in, and it states that they were manufacturers of trunks, chests, deal boxes and portmanteaus, bags, sample cases, dispatch boxes, japanned deed boxes, airtight dress trunks, writing desks, portable camp and barrack furniture. It also gives us 4 of his retail addresses: 81, 82, 83 and 84 Leadenhall Street, 38A Old Bond Street, 378 Strand and 177 Tottenham Court Road. And of course, this doesn't include the workshops that he would have had which weren't listed. Aside from putting a lot of energy and time into his business and growing it to the huge size that it was, John Pound was also very civic minded and was a great philanthropist. He worked with lots of charities, trying to better life for the people of London. He was an alderman. He was involved with the Worshipful Company of Leather Workers, and even went on to become London Mayor in 1904. And partly because of all of his good works, he was knighted in 1905. So the second case is early 20th century in date, and this is made of pigskin leather. If you can see, it's got a slight sort of mottled look to it, and that's how you tell that it's pigskin. Again, very well made, super nickel plated fittings to the handle that allow it to move easily, and nickel plated locks. It's lined in leather as well, and we've got John Pound's stamp right in the middle there, telling us exactly who made it. It also has some straps to the interior so that you can keep your clothing nice and secure and tidy. And this is a great size, this case. I mean, I would say that it's perfect for a weekend. You can fit quite a lot in there, but it's not so big that it's going to be awkward for you to move it around. And again, really well made, as we would expect from John Pound. Now, John Pound also made campaign furniture. As we noted, it states it on his invoice. You don't really see much of his campaign furniture about. We've seen one or two campaign chests, and it suggests to us that probably the luggage was the greater part of his business, and perhaps the campaign furniture was a lesser side to his business. Either that, or it's likely that he didn't mark as much of his campaign furniture for us to be able to recognise it today. Again, that's not uncommon. A lot of campaign furniture makers, London ones especially, would mark the packing cases of the furniture rather than the actual furniture. So it's not uncommon for you to find a campaign chest with no maker's name on it at all. But John Pound, anyway, was a fantastic maker and enjoys a brilliant reputation. The company were busy for well over 100 years. Eventually they were bought out by the John Lewis partnership in the 1950s. But you only get to last that long in business if you provide a good service and make good quality items. That's certainly the case with John Pound. Their luggage is great quality, and we always look out for it for when we can find it. So this suitcase is going to be, this weekend case, is made of leather pigskin, and it's early 20th century. This one, leather hide, late 19th century. Both great pieces by a great maker.